Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I think we're live. It says we are. This is Monday's Surprise Live. Here we are, Monday at 3 o'clock Central Time Zone, July 20th. I had some folks from Saturday night. We had a busy night on Saturday night. People didn't get their charts read. Get in the chat if you want your chart read. This is a Allastrology live stream. I do free speed readings. Speed reading. We go through the chat as fast as possible. Accuracy is very important. So get your digits to me. Birth time and location is important. All those things matter. If you don't have your birth time, make sure you're honest and you just say that you don't. I'll create a special chart, but I do need that other information: birth time, birthplace, birth city, birth state, birth country. All that matters. All right. Now, for those of you who have the ability, some folks have already gifted the channel. You can do that by Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. It's all right below the live stream. People do that when they want me to spend more time on their chart. Okay. And not everybody can do that. I get that. That's why I'm doing this. If you look up a private astrology reading, it's going to be north of $300 for 90 minutes. And I know that is not possible for a lot of us. So here we go. Teamwork, you're number one. Sergey, I got your Venmo. Thank you so much for the channel gift. We're definitely going to get to you. I think you're a few names down in the chat there. Let me see. Make sure for everybody, especially if there's anyone that's new, if you want a reading, make sure that you have your digits all on the same line. Please don't make me fish and go looking for them. It just speeds everything up. It helps everything. All right. So first up is going to be Teamwork. After Teamwork, the next name I see that has birth digits is okay, so here we go. It looks like Tia didn't have her digits, but then Stephanie does. Stephanie, you're number 2. Tia, you're number 3, and so on. You get it? Namira, I see you here. You're number 4. Sergi, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Sergius, you're number 5. Got your payment. Thank you. Or your gift, I should say. Yeah, no problem. We will do that. We will take care of you. All right, so let's see what we can do. Let's get on the ball here. Let's see what kind of charts we're going to be looking at. Teamwork, you're up. Let's get your chart on the screen. Let's pray that all the tech is in good working order. It was a little weird earlier, so keeping my fingers crossed. And you want me to look at a specific date, so I'm going to pull that up. Let me get your chart over here. Let's see here. And thank you very much, by the way, Teamwork, for your channel gift. And let's start. While we're waiting to see if this is going to get on the screen, we do a live stream a couple times a week. If you don't catch me on the live stream, normally the first and the third Saturday of every month, we do this on Saturday night, okay? The first and the third. On the second Saturday of the month, we do an astrology class so that you can learn how to do this for yourself and you don't have to be depending on anybody else. Or if you like a more private situation, you can join us on our private lives, which is the fourth Saturday of every month. I know there's a lot going on. Fourth Saturday of every month is a private lives. This Saturday is already filled. August's, there's a couple spots left for August. If you're interested, send me an email. I'll give you the details. We'll communicate and you can decide what you want to do. All right, so here we go. Teamwork sent an email, had a question in regards to August 2nd. And you were talking about Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be conjunct your sun, trining your moon. It's also going to be my Mercury return, my sun return. Woo, lots of big energy happening. A lot of new cycles beginning. A solar cycle, a new solar cycle is beginning. And you're also beginning a new Mercury cycle. What's fascinating about that Mercury cycle at 21 degrees, I'll have to look at your chart. I'm reading your email right now. Yeah, it says that you have it at 21. And 21 is fascinating because that is right where we had, that new moon. New moon. So work, health, maybe work related to health, maybe health being work, right? Maybe that combination factor, but working with the public is definitely Cancer energy, moon energy, mom energy, nurturing feelings and emotions, but communications, siblings, neighbor, coworker. What I like about this may have something to do with teaching energy, by the way, because Jupiter does show up large. Here we are, it's Jupiter at 7 degrees, conjunct the sun up in the sky because it's your birthday, so sun on sun. But look, there's her moon, 10 degrees, and you have the nodes of fate and partnerships connected here. You see this? You have this in the 11th house. This is the friends. This is social circles, but the 11th realm is also talked about as friends in high places, friends who are beneficial for me, especially since Jupiter is your great benefic, and you have Jupiter in the 11th house, right? So beneficial friends. Jupiter here can be institutional energy, something on a large scale. Can be creative, but it can be traveling, can be teaching, can be spirituality, can be all of the above for you, right? Because it's friends in high places, maybe judges, maybe lawyers, but teaching and extended education, whether you're taking a class, whether you're becoming the teacher, taking on the teaching role, that's a possibility with a Jupiter trine Jupiter cycle and a Jupiter conjunct the sun at the same time, trining the moon. All in all, this energy is beautiful energy for a really nice day. We feel really good when the sun and the moon are trining, especially in very optimistic Leo and optimistic Saggy. There is a caution to not go overboard. There would be probably, because it's Jupiter, right? Jupiter tends to, just go a little grand, it just goes home. It goes large, right? That's its belief. Go big or go home. So with Jupiter, we just want to be careful with if we're getting over extravagant, or if we're going too far, or if we're overindulging, or if we're anything with over and just exaggerations in general. Okay. Now with friends and beneficial energy, there might be good news because you're also going to have Mercury conjunct Mercury. So it's a new cycle in communication. Again, sisters, siblings, so can be brothers, peers, coworkers, neighbors, right? But definitely connected domestically because of the Mercury in your 6th house here. All right. So usually good news, but a new cycle working. And again, remember, we even have the Jupiter degree. There might be information you're getting at this time that makes you feel pretty freaking confident and optimistic because it has to do with the future. And it might have to do with some sort of a dream of yours, something you had been working towards. Remember, Jupiter is also about publishing, folks. So whether you're working on that, I don't know, but Mercury is the writer, the communicator, right? So this can be inspiring words. You have that in multiple places in your chart, inspiring words, inspiring communication style. And because you sent me the email and gave me some notice a couple of days ago, I did already look up another chart for you. And on the other chart system, it's a Mars return for you as well. So it emphasizes communication. It emphasizes health. It emphasizes sports. It emphasizes fun, feeling like a kid again, but taking action and even my own body. So whether you're doing that for yourself and focused on your own body, or whether you work in an area where you're learning more about the body and maybe progressing in terms of helping others with their own body, you know, athletics and that kind of thing, because that's the fifth house. The fifth house is sports and having a good time and organized sports and whatnot. So that Mars return in the other chart, and then Mercury and Jupiter, all tells me communications are big, beneficial energy, beneficial news. Is it gambling? Is it taking a risk news? It can be. You know, some people say, yeah, should I play the lottery on this day? Should I do this or that? Well, if you already do, then go do it. But obviously only what you can afford, because you do have some beneficial alignments. Is it high risk taking, like, hey, I'm going to win energy? Maybe not on this day, but if you look closely at your Leo energy, you do have Uranus and your Venus conjunct, but that's not till 10 more days out. You follow? So I don't know. I've never played the lottery. I don't even know how all that works exactly. But if you're feeling feisty, if you're feeling frisky, if you're feeling like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try this, I would do it, just because you have planets aligning in a beautiful way. And Jupiter is your great benefic. And your Jupiter is in the house of the angelic realm, or the house of beneficial energy, the house of surprises. But because it's in fire, it's usually something kind of on the optimistic side. And it can be a change. It can be a change for the better. So if I were you, I would absolutely just do all the little things that you were thinking of doing to advance your status, maybe. Possibly, because it's a time with the sun where authority figures are recognizing, where there might be some recognition you're getting. And this might be a beautiful thing, especially if you're in the work race, right? If you're in that realm, just, you know, doing the 9 to 5 or whatever it is. So yeah, just do whatever, you know. It's a good day for socializing, a good day for getting out and for communication. It's a good day for, I just feel really good, right? But again, information and news can come through where you're like, oh, happy, right? How big is that going to be? That I don't know, because you have the moon at 10 degrees, your sun is at 10 degrees. This is more serious energy. It's more something I've built over a long period of time. Work, career, right? Goals. Lottery doesn't fall into that category. You follow what I'm saying? But this is just me reading the degrees along with the planets and the signs. The thing about free will and astrology, you know, you gotta honor a little bit of all of it, okay? Because Leo is, I'm feeling like I can take a risk, and it's gonna pay out. Okay. So I hope this makes sense for you. And in general, for everybody, the sun and the Jupiter energy combined looks to be positive, positive news. So in your email in general, it can be all around positive energy. I'm trying to see if there was anything else you mentioned to make sure that I answer your questions for you. It does look like good aspects. The only thing I will mention is, because if Jupiter is somebody's great benefic, that means Mars is your great malefic, right? And I mentioned that a Mars conjunct Mars. So maybe there's just a little something that you're working on, or that flares up, or something that you might, some sort of a wound with the fantasy and the beliefs about my future and my self-worth. I only mention this because Mars, who moves pretty fast, on that other chart, being conjunct your Mars, it squares your Chiron. a wound over self-worth and values and income and money and love and desire and my dreams about those things, my fantasies about those things, or whatever my perspective is on those things. Okay. It can be a little fuzzy and confusing because it's Pisces energy of where your Chiron is. Ultimately, Chiron in Pisces is the wounded healer. And maybe there's something there connecting to that. As far as if I do work within healing, like if that's my thing, or if I'm trying to heal myself, whatever it is, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, whatever, like if there's spiritual healing involved, whatever it is, maybe the Mars there triggering it might bring something up. Okay. And I would expect it to, because it's going to square. And just so you know, the Mars will square it. Yeah, you're talking even like 4 days before you might feel a little something. But I don't think it's anything major because it doesn't happen in both of the charts. So that decreases the odds. And that is just me specifically talking about the Mars energy. Okay, the Mars square. So overall, I would say, yeah, enjoy this time. Enjoy this inspiring time, this courageous time, this fun and feisty time. Have a good time. All right, next up, we are moving along here, and we go to the next name. Number 2, I believe, was Stephanie. And Stephanie, what do we got here? Plano, Texas. That's December 14th, 1990, 9:56 p.m. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for putting all your digits together. Good job. The other thing I need is, am I going to read just what pops in? Because if there's not like anything particular, just give me a couple of words, 1 or 2 words, what you want me to focus on. If you don't want me to do that, then I will, whatever jumps out of your chart is what I'll start reading, because that's just, things just jump out usually right away. And if people have specifics, then I go with what their specifics are, and that becomes primary. So let's get your chart drawn up. And just remember, everybody, these are speed readings. So the chart that was first, they sent a channel gift. So I spent a little bit more time on their chart. Okay. Just so we all understand here. And it's just a channel gift. If you want me to spend more time, I don't, I'm really doing this because astrology readings are expensive. And I get that, I get people who want private readings, and I do the astrology classes. So this is really more of a format to just try to help people. Okay. So, kind of honor that. And, you can always help other people out by gifting for somebody else. Sometimes people do that, whatever. This is about, people trying to show that human decency still exists in the world. It's a hard thing to find sometimes. 9:56 p.m. And we have Plano, Texas. Okay, let's get this going here. I'm so happy the software is like not giving me a bunch of crap. You never know, some days. All right, let's get this chart. Have you seen your chart before, Stephanie? The person who I just did earlier, I've seen their chart multiple times. They've come here before for readings. So we knew that chart was correct, but I've never seen your chart before. And this is showing me a Leo rising, 22 degrees. And this is showing me a Sagittarius moon. Woo, lots of fire in this chart. Dang. A retrograding Mars at 29. Okay, this is interesting. Sagittarius moon. A Sagittarius sun. Holy shit, you know a thing or two about confidence. Like I said, Leo rising, even your Jupiter is in Leo. A lot of fire in this chart. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so yeah, multiple things jumped out. The fire is the first thing to understand really well. All right. So if you agree that this is every blue moon, the software might get glitchy. There's stuff moving around up there and things might get weird. So I have to confirm as best as I can. This is a Saggy moon at 1 degrees. I use the moon because it's a pretty quick mover. up in the sky. And if that 1 degree is right, then we know the rest of the chart's good. So yeah, all the fire in a chart. Here's the thing. When we have a lot of fire, it burns others easily. That's just the way it works. Okay. Regardless of all the other stuff in the chart, and there's a ton. Lots of fire, we have to remember, just like the sun up in the sky, we get too close, we get burned, or we burn somebody else. Okay. Lots of confidence, probably overconfident energy. There can be judgments and subconscious judgments, but genuinely optimistic. And usually this sort of energy is going to get information ahead of time. There can be a strong mind, strong intellect, very fast, very fiery, might even feel like sagey energy where I'm knowing things about society and the cycles, the patterns within life, and seeing those big pictures ahead of time. The tricky thing is really this Mars up here at 29 degrees in Taurus. You have a retrograding Mars. So here we go with that. Let me double check something on that Mars real quick. As for this, okay, it's not out of bounds, but it's damn close. Okay, so you have a super powerful Mars, really intense. You have to be careful with a Mars like this. At the degree, this is a degree where it's usually, it's things have to happen at these degrees, right? Like a decision has to be made, action has to be taken. They're critical points. Okay, so anytime some objects ding them, like align with them, get next to them, or angle them in a certain way. Intense Mars, passion-driven Mars, impulsive, impatient. The bull becomes the raging bull. The bull in the pasture puts its head down and charges forward with the horns, right? With a Mars in Taurus at 29 degrees, a retrograding Mars in Taurus that is also almost out of bounds. So the good news is it's in the 10th house of career. And the 10th house can discipline your Mars energy. It takes it and it says, listen, let's slow down. Let's take some steps. Let's be smart about this. Let's think about the long term. And that's a benefit because Mars normally, when it's young, doesn't think about the future in terms of, okay, 10, 20, 15 years. Where am I going to be? How is this decision going to affect me? So this is a beautiful placement in that regard. Now, it will also give you unbelievable ambition and drive and holy crap stamina. Holy crap stamina energy. Let me see what we got working with it. You do have Saturn training it. Okay, that's good. Let me see angling. Okay, so you're pretty good. The thing that you're going to have to be cautious about is the moon, is your emotions. I'm bringing that up again because this moon is at the opposition of this Mars. So when I get fired up, I may want to lash out, right? When my emotions get boiling, okay? When the volcano erupts, so to speak, the Mars is usually going to take action. It's usually going to take action. And so anybody that's around might get burned because your moon and your Mars are connected. Okay. This can also talk about mom and home energy. It can be really optimistic and fun at times. It might be energy where there's a lot of adventure. There's a lot of action and usually optimistic and fun, usually driven towards goals and taking the next steps and stuff like that. But if we're not cautious, we can get caught unaware. And the overconfidence too. I'm the teacher. I'm the preacher. This is my truth. Therefore, I have to share this with everybody. And sometimes we ram it down people's throats without being aware of it. Okay. Because you have such an abundance of saggy energy in your chart. This will be emotionally satisfying for you, right? Home and family and mom energy is really strong here. Can be connected to mother wounds. But maybe there was even, I don't know, maybe, just maybe there was a little bit of not hate relationship, not even love hate, but there might have been times where you had to tiptoe around on eggshells, whether it was in the house or around mom. There might be a little bit of that sort of energy here. Overall, with the Sagittarius at 22 degrees, I am feeling like this energy has a lot of the Saturn vibration, which says discipline. And it has this wonderful ability to focus on my long-term goals, okay? Especially when it comes to creating. So this can be children. This can be creative endeavors. It's going to be connected to building for the future even, okay? Even legacy. What year were you born? Oh, you're pretty young still. Even legacy type of energy. You have like authority figure energy that's really strong in your chart in terms of creating and having a good time. Even maybe taking a little risk sometime. But for the most part, building energy is huge. You might have played with building blocks when you were a kid, or those things that the Lincoln logs, they used to be called when we were kids. But something about building, and maybe that literally means homes, like in whatever way that is, right? Sometimes that could even, I don't know, some people get super handy with the hands and they're building literally, because you do have Taurus at your midheaven. And sometimes those are the architects because they build the foundations of things. So I love this for you overall. Just be aware of subconscious judgments, and too much fire can be a little much for others to handle at times. Okay. All right, we're moving on. I believe number 3 is the next person who showed up with their birth digits. And great, we have a location and a birth time. Tia, you're up. Are you here? October 6, 1998. Indianapolis, Indiana, 8:30 p.m. Come on back into the comment section. Let me know you're here so I can draw up your chart. Give me a confirmation that you're still here. Tia said I'm here. Awesome. Awesome. I forgot to mention, once I start reading a chart, I do not glance back at the chat. Once I glance back at the chat, that means I'm done reading your chart. Because my eyes focus on one thing. Sometimes people try to have a conversation with me, and I'm somewhere else. The chart is all in my space, and that's all I see and hear. So if you have something you want me to focus on, give me 1 or 2 words before your chart unleashes on me and tells me what to look at. October 6th. Oh, God, I have to spell October first. 1998. Have you seen your chart before, Tia? PM is right. Okay, Indianapolis. I hope I spelled that right. Okay, are you ready? This is showing, let me double check these digits. October 6, 1998, 8:30 p.m. Indy. And this is giving me, this is a Gemini rising. Gemini rising at 2 degrees. You are a Taurus moon at 0. Oh, interesting. If this is you, this is another chart with a Mars at 29 degrees. Sometimes the 29 degrees are called crisis points too, by the way. Which means you would know what I'm talking about, because you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, I know. Every now and then, yep, those happen. Those, out of nowhere, something occurs that it's like major. And yours is conjunct Regulus and your North Node. Oh my gosh. Home and family is big, comes up again. Wow. So, Tia, just have to give her the info. Yes, I'm getting better at reading. So, Tia, yeah, you've seen this. You know this is you then. That's what I'm looking for. Do you have to be a member? No, I think that's for a reading. You just get your birth digits in, whoever that is. Okay, so I'm slowly getting better at reading. Okay, good. So then that would be confirmation. Okay, great. All right, so here we are. We're doing astrology speed reading for anybody who's just gotten here. This is what we do a couple times a week, surprise live streams. Get your alert bell, turn it on so you know when I go live. Sometimes I spend more time on a chart. That's because people have the ability to send a gift to the channel, okay? And for anybody who doesn't have that ability, we're doing speed readings, okay? So let's take a look at this. Taurus moon, money, values, desire, energy, hidden desires, because it's in your 12th house. Hidden values, hidden money. 12th house can also be across the water, other side, across the pond. So money, values, desires, this can also be, God, I haven't found that special someone. But it can also be home, mom energy, because it's your moon we're talking about. So Taurus energy, the aesthetics, food, all the five senses, but there are way more than five senses. And I think finally people realize that they are aware of so much more. They sense so much more. And that would be Taurus energy. It rules the senses. Okay. High sensitivities in the 12th house. Very high sensitivity. So sometimes the folks in the 12th, other than sound, sensitive to sound, to touch, to taste, to smell, and all that stuff, but to the other realms. So you may have had some experiences with those things. Taurus moon can be extremely psychic energy, especially because you have yours at 0 degrees. It's an extreme degree. Information can come through clearly in dreams. You could have understanding and knowings of cycles that are about to begin. That's just one of the benefits of the 12th house stuff. We just know shit. We don't know why or how we know it. We just do. Now, here's the thing. Your moon and your Taurus, Saturn and Taurus are connected. They're really close together. So this can create restrictions and slowdowns. It would be slowdowns in money, slowdowns in values, slowdowns in love, especially long-term, like marriage energy. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Right? It just means that Saturn says there's no shortcuts, right? It's like a taskmaster. It makes you go through all the steps. And you may find that you have to wait a little bit longer. It might be like, holy shit, this is crazy. You know, what's going on? That could be part of it. That's just one piece of that puzzle. If there's an income issue, if there's a career issue, if there's a money and values issue, that can be just a little bit of it because it's in the 12th house, and the 12th house makes everything fuzzy and blurry, and we can't see where the hell our values are. You know, people in the 12th sometimes too, like sometimes they're perfectly happy with not having lots of things. Sometimes they're like, you know, this is like Jesus in the garden type of energy where it's like, you know, I'm just out here teaching and preaching. I don't need material things. So you might have noticed in your life, you've gone through, you go through cycles of that energy. It's possible. Okay. Your nodes are at 0 degrees. This is extreme, more extreme energy. You have, wow. So with that said, your north node trines your Taurus moon. You should have, if you already are not realizing it, because you're having a north node return. Your node is in Virgo energy. If this is your chart, you are aligning with your soul's goals. These are not new goals, but if you have been on a path where your soul's like, oh, hell no, you're on the wrong path. Right now, you're living through this time where your soul says, we are realigning. So this means we are saying goodbye to the old way. We are saying goodbye possibly to job and my long-term goals and my beliefs about my future, maybe beliefs about my work, maybe because you're Pisces South Node, which is your superpower in creating, in spirituality, in music and meditation. It's super creative energy. This energy says that I need rest, I need respite, I need to escape, I need to get away in any way possible. You know, and Pisces is going to be really creative with that. Sometimes these people can be prone to substances. So whether it's just a little sippy sip of the wine or whether it's something more serious, right? That's something else that you may have had to experiment with at different times because desire energy is strong in your chart. And it's hidden because your Taurus energy, which rules your desire, it's in the 12th. And relationship energy, your Venus is down here in romantic partnerships. Okay, so with this energy, this tells me that new and different and sudden, even technology, somebody older, authority figures may be involved for you for relationship and considerations in partnerships. But because it's in the house of fun and having a good time, this may have been a bigger thing when we're young, because this would be literally quick energy, very fast love sort of energy, spontaneous. Never did that before, this kind of thing, right? But you can, or maybe you have evolved and taken it up a notch where it's more about, now it's about work, now it's about career, now it's about, I want to be the boss, I want to be the independent person, I want to be the, the solo person who's basically maybe even the boss of everybody else, because you have boss energy at your midheaven. And it is technology, it is science, it is astrology. You have that all up there, which means I'm the inventor, right? And it's combined with working towards my long-term goals. And you have some deep knowledge with it as well. You have soul energy that says, I'm bringing some depth. So I want to do some meaningful work, not just like working in tech, as far as cybersecurity, although that can be a thing, but it does have super detective energy to it, investigative power. So this might even be insurance stuff that there could even be that involved in it, and using tech for that means. So that's just a quick look, a quick read. That's what jumped out. For whatever reason, I don't feel like there was anything major individually. There was quite a few things combined together that were jumping out for you. Kind of a busy chart. I think it's, a lot of the air that you have. All right, so we're moving on. You'll have to come back sometime, because we didn't even touch on your Mars at 29, and God, you had a few other things too. Interesting chart. I have it saved in my system, by the way. If you guys have your digits here, I'll save it in the system. That way we don't have to take time to create a chart for you next time, okay? It's crazy. Your chart's crazy? Great, thank you. Yes, you are welcome. Thank you. All right, so now we got to see who's next. Let me go double check. And we're looking at, so that was Tia, and we're going to keep on scrolling here. It's me, Namira. Are you still here, Namira? And then Sergius, I think you're next after Namira. Okay. Sergius, I know you sent a Venmo. Thank you. You're right after Namira. If Namira is still here, if she's not, then Sergius. Oh, Namira's here. Okay. Thank you, Namira. Thank you for responding so quickly. I know I have your digits in here. Am I focusing on something in particular, Namira, or am I just going to go right through it and just read what pops out? Let me see, Namira. Maybe I'll grab my phone real quick so I can see if I can get this chat on here and help me out with that. It's me, Namira. Okay, that's what I needed to know. What name I put it under. Okay. All right, so this is a speed reading, which means they go a little bit faster. Doesn't mean that it's not accurate. It just means we have less time to spend on it. And where the heck are you, Namira? I know I've looked at your chart before. Okay. I think you put your digits in again, right? Because why am I not seeing you here? GHI. Oh, there you are. I found you. I got you. Here we go. Look at that. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, let me go back to the phone and see if you said anything as far as what you see. Okay, great. All right, let's do that. So here we go. We're going to go with what is jumping out of the chart at me at the moment. And so, this is exactly what jumped out right here. Not Palace. This is Pandora's box. I'm curious. Yeah. Health issues popped up for you. You have Hygeia conjunct Pandora's box. The node has been sitting here for probably close to over a month, the south node, changing routines, changing a health habit, maybe even changing work, some sort of project, things we do day to day. This is what's jumped out because, Pandora's right on it's right here at 1 degrees with, you have quite a few things here at the 1 degrees. And this is where the Virgo south node is sitting, which brings in a superpower, brings in higher knowledge. It's Mercury energy, so it gives us options, and it tells us different things about our own health and well-being. It connects the dots to our health. It's like people eat certain things and they don't connect the dots to their well-being, right? I don't know where you're located, but here in the States, people, it seems like there's always something. But anyway, there was a big, and there still is, Taylor Farms, people eating salad greens, iceberg lettuce or whatever. And yeah, the connection between hygiene, washing of hands, or whatever. I don't even want to go into details as far as how they got bagged prepared lettuce that's got human feces on it, literally. So anyway, with that said, you may not have had that exact thing, but Virgo does rule digestion. It does rule it. So let me see if you had anything on the angle, because it was, okay, this may be, you don't have anything there. Relationships. Okay. So you had some relationship work stuff. Oh, maybe something with the health. You have and maybe shocking and surprising and sudden. This is, it brings up Juno energy in relationships, friends, group energy. So again, can be work related, but it can be the health of those friendships that can have been triggered here. And that may be part of this because of the node. This would have been irritating energy. It's like an itch. Irritating. We have to do something about it. But this would have been friends that you would consider very important, not just like social, whatever. Not like, this would be people that we almost consider for marriage even. You have quite a few things at 1 degree. So constantly starting new things, starting new relationships, being on the lookout for new, because you even have a north node at 7 degrees in relationships in your Gemini energy. And so the connection to the health of something, it's a health report card. That's what's coming forward strongly, a health report card. And partnerships. So whether it's in the home, at the job, it can be both, because that's the 6th house energy. It triggers both because it's something we do every day. You follow? Science and tech, but maybe even, astrology. But the big thing with Aquarius energy for all of us is that it is triggering, other timelines. It's triggering different perspectives. It's firing different neurons and burning new neural pathways in our body. And so we are learning things and understanding things that we maybe didn't know about before, but we have a deeper understanding now. So in this way, the thinking outside of the box and being even quite inventive energy, being quite independent energy even, which of course can be boss energy. So whether you're having, the relationship with a boss at the job, maybe things were a little tough for some time there. But going forward, it's looking, I think it's going to be better, because you're going to have even the possibility of, oh, maybe that's what happened already. Maybe you had a new boss. Maybe that's the energy that came up, because I have Uranus up in the sky right now telling me, hey, I'm sitting here at 4 and I am a nice trine to the Pallas Athena, boss energy and friends and work and group energy. And I'm the strategist. So this is really smart energy, unbelievably creative. This is the one who can pull out the map and who is long-term strategizing, and unbelievably futuristic energy. Unbelievably futuristic. So, this can be connected to social services for mankind, but it can be connected on a global level for sure. So whatever it is you do, this is what was kind of jumping out most prominently for you right now. Okay, so we are moving on to Sergius. You're up. Sergius specifically says, Sergius, you sent a channel gift, so we're going to get your chart up right now, and you want me to go to September 14th. And thank you for the channel gift. we're going to take a look at that for you. And you're in Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay, let me grab your stuff. And so we do speed readings. If anybody is here, if you're new, everybody gets a speed reading unless you have the means to send a gift to the channel and you want more time spent on your chart, then that's what we'll do. But if you don't, then you just get your digits into the chat, get all your information there. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. If you don't have your birth time, make sure you're letting me know that. And I create a special chart for people who don't have a birth time. Somebody was asking, okay, if I don't have a birth time or a birth location, again, the less information you give me, right? Each piece of information you give me creates more accuracy in the reading. You follow? Okay, so we're looking at September 14th for Sergius. Sergius, let me go see how much, what did you, so I can get a clear understanding of what we're working with. Okay, and how much time to spend. Okay. Okay. Oh, let's see here. All right, so let's go to September 14th. Off by a day. Here we go. Okay. And you wanted me to get your Chesapeake, Virginia. There we go, Virginia. And let's see what we can see for you. Okay, it's giving me a lot of Northampton, North or Chesapeake. We're going to go, let's see if that works. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's remove that comment so I can get this on the screen in case, you know, this is a learning community. Sometimes I got people who want to see the chart. All right, so here we go. I don't know how y'all see it when there's just so much stuff. All right, so we've got you for the 14th and okay, Mars on Venus. You see that? Yeah. And that's usually, you know, masculine, feminine energy coming together, but there's a familiarity, there's a tribal energy to it, family and home, even if it isn't directly connected to home and family, ancestral soul energy. Okay. Friends, in the house of friends and friendships, social circles. The moon is also going to be in water on this day. Interesting. And you're going to have Venus. Oh my God. Look at this, Sergius. Transiting Venus on your Mars and your Mars and Jupiter together. Interesting. Okay. More masculine, feminine energy coming together. So communication is going to be open and strong, and desire energy gets triggered. Venus is desire. Your Mars is at 2, and so is your Jupiter. All righty. 22 degrees suggests possibly somebody older. Suggests it. We'll see. Even if they're not older by age, there's something about them might seem more mature. But your moon, you see, 22 degrees moon, masculine, feminine energy. The mom who felt like she had to play the role of mom and dad. But within Pisces, it might have been a little bit fuzzy there. This is the energy of escape. Mom might not have been present as much as we would have liked. This is also located in the placement of wounds, right? traumas, wounds from the past. Pisces can be hospitals, but it can also be, you know, vacation. It can also be substances. You know, remember, it's the I got to get away energy. Everybody has their own little thing. So you have Mars and your Venus and your moon are always in that trine. But when Mars and a moon trine together, typically our emotions get a little amped up, right? Because Mars can bring definite excitement, ambition, energy, physical activity. So this may be a time when it would be a good idea to use that extra energy that's surging, right? Literally, it's an ideal time to take steps towards whatever ambitions you have. Mars energy, your passions, I should say, whatever passions you have. All right. But because it's going to be conjunct Venus, it doesn't have to be another significant person always. It can be my money and my income as well. And so if we look at it from that perspective, big time, this can be career energy. This is more Saturn energy. All right. And trining your moon, that would be like, oh, you know, no wonder I'm amped up. Satisfaction and emotional satisfaction connected with desires and my ambition. Having the moon in the 8th house, if we're talking about career, this can be something that is definitely behind the scenes. 8th house can be, you know, security type of stuff. It seems like cybersecurity. I'm getting a lot of people who are always telling me like this is their thing. I guess that's what's in demand now. I don't know. But the trick with this energy is to get rid of anything that is outdated, that's outlived, where it doesn't have much purpose for you any longer, and to move forward. Okay? Because it's almost like you're starting a new cycle, because Jupiter is focused on the future, and the Jupiter energy is your great benefic, right? So teaching, publishing, traveling, possibly even, okay? Because we're talking your Jupiter down there in the 3rd house of talking, communication, sales, and travel. You know, of course, digital and social media and sales, if I already said sales, but teaching as well. Now, let me see here. So physical attraction is probably going to be high because of the Venus. So it could be, like I already mentioned, beauty. The thing here, because it's happening in multiple places. Let me check one more thing real quick. Let me check Uranus. Let me check for your natal, which is at 0. Okay, well, that explains why it's coming up. Because your Uranus is strong in Sag. It's air and fire together, and it's at 0. It's an extreme thing, which means if the Uranus in the sky is angling something, which it is, we have Mercury and Uranus earlier that day, even overnight and the day before, they were in a nice trine up in the sky. So new information, something that comes through suddenly, like a lightning bolt. You're learning something new, maybe from an authority figure, but the Uranus is going through your 10th house of your goals and your ambition, while the Mercury is going through your 2nd house of money and income. So whether this is just news about new opportunities and decisions and choices that you have to make can be a thing here. Let me double check some things. Venus is going to start a retrograde in Scorpio. Let's double check that for you real quick. Because that's shared values. That's insurance money, deeply bonded energy. Yeah, Venus starts at 8. So yeah, this is definitely bonded energy. But you don't have anything at the 8. And let me see if I can find anything that's going to be angled. And so far, it looks like you're all clear. So this doesn't, so the retrograde, which all of this matters, it all connects, okay? This is why I'm looking at it. That means that when you make some choices, some decisions, just make sure that you're focusing on the long term, right? As opposed to something shiny, exciting, right? Just make sure you're weighing your odds, and your options, I should say, as to what has the long-term greater benefit. All right. And then you should be fine with that decision, because the Mercury retrograde, the Venus retrograde at 8 isn't going to be a thing for you. And then the Mercury's higher up in numbers. So that's not part of this process here for you. Let's see. So does that make sense for you? I hope that answered your question. Let me double check your comment real quick. I think it was just you asking me to look at, oh Lord, I forgot to turn that off. I'm gonna have to get back to that in a minute. Okay, so let's take oh Lord, we got a lot going on here. Where did Sir? Yeah, does that make sense for you, Sergius? Are you good with that? I think that's, yeah. Hoping to see the sun. It was at 20. Yeah. Yeah, the sun's at 22. That's right. Oh, wait, maybe I'm thinking about wait, let me go back. I said September 14th. Yeah, there's your sun at 22. That's right. Again, work, right? This is work energy, and it's at 22 degrees. So this, again, this is a sextile from the Mars. This is a sextile to your Venus. This is good. This is usually connections that easily occur. Again, communications, choices, and options. This is Mercury energy. The Mercury up in the sky is in Libra. So again, personal and professional, possibly contract energy, right? And we want the Saturn. We want what's going to last for the long term. So your sun energy at 22 degrees. You said you wanted to see the sun. Yes, the sun is in an opposition with your moon. Yes, this creates a full moon type of vibration. I did speak to letting go what is outdated, right? What no longer is part of your routine. So what's your routine? What is your work? What are your, maybe it's even a health thing for you, but it can be involved with money and income and desires. It's the sun at 22. If you look in your chart, the sun would have been conjunct your second house cusp line of income a couple of days earlier. By now, it's already past your second house cusp line. You follow? It's at 22 here. Your second house cusp is at 19. So this specific date you asked me to look at, September 14th, yeah, I guess you were focused on, the opposition. Is that what you're saying? It brings on like a full moon energy, but it can be a release of a belief over shared values, money, maybe insurance stuff, a release of a belief about a dream, maybe connected to home and family and mom. Okay? So you kind of just gotta, maybe even an understanding about some wounds from the past, right? The sun can be an authority figure, but you don't have anything in Virgo at 22, but you do have the 19-degree house cusp line of Virgo, domestic energy, but can be job, can be day-to-day routines and work. All right. So the communication, choices, and option energy. You will have that sun. Again, you have to have objects conjunct. And as the sun gets higher by degree, you don't have anything in Virgo. 19 degrees, the highest thing you have, right? In the conjunction and the opposition. Does that make sense for you? Okay. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. So I think if anything for you, you would have felt this energy probably days before the 14th, to be honest. Okay. Because we're looking at it in an exact conjunction pretty much. All right. And you have a lot of things lining up days before. All right. Yeah. You are welcome. Absolutely. You are welcome. I think beliefs will be a big thing, right? And if you're finishing, I can't remember. I have so many different people who come in, but I think you were saying something. I can't remember if you were going to school or something, because you will have the sun angling the Neptune energy, right? It's a Neptune in Saggy, which is higher education. So whether you're teaching or whether you're a student, whatever that is, with the sun angling that, it can be that closure in the ending of the dream or of the continuing education. The perceptions about it, my beliefs about it, right? The beliefs about wisdom and truth and higher knowledge even. Yeah. And that's in your home energy though. Okay. That's can be property, by the way, with Neptune there, but that kind of says, yeah, home and property can be a thing, but it's just one aspect. So please, in general, everybody, one aspect, got to have a lot of things connecting. And you do. And they do connect to Cancer energy in your chart. So it's even possible that the news and the information you get in the 11th house, I mean, how are you with your family? Do you consider that you're friends with your family, right? The combination of things in your chart with partnerships and Libra energy means it can be personal and professional stuff, okay? And home and family and mom energy comes into the picture, as does feminine energy. Okay, well then chalk it up as that. Unless if you have family living, right, then there can be something there as well, because Neptune brings that understanding, and the Saggy energy is definitely on the search for the truth to greater understanding. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we are moving on. Thank you for the question. Thank you for sending the channel gift. And we're moving on. Hope that helps, Sergi. All right, after Sergius, we are going through the chat here. This is the cue. This is how you get in line. This is free readings. Sometimes people have the means to send a gift to the channel, so I spend a little bit more time on their chart. If you can't afford to do that, that's why we're here. We're doing free speed readings, I call them. And if you have your birth digits with your location in the chat, then that's you being in the queue. And so we go first come, first serve. And we just got done with Sergius. And we are moving the next name with a... all right, the next name with some digits is Gigi. Gigi Hayes. Neptune City, New Jersey. Gigi, are you still here? Okay, Joanne, I see you're next after Gigi. Let me check my email for Joanne. Let me refresh some things here. Okay, I don't have any information from PayPal at all. Nothing from PayPal. They usually ding me pretty immediately, but nothing. Just so you know, Joanne, I think that's what you told me to check. There's nothing from them. Okay, so is Gigi here? That's where I'm focused on. Oh, maybe Gigi's not here. Okay, so Gigi's not here. So we're going to go to the next name. And Joanne, that would be you. But Joanne, just so you know, this will be the third time I'm looking at the email and all that good stuff. I got the Venmo. Yep, the Venmos came. You didn't. Yep, somebody else did a Venmo. That is strange. You know, sometimes when we're moving fast, we forget to hit the send button. God knows I've done that. We're in a rush and we get all this other information in and we're like, oh, thank God it's all done. And we forget to hit the damn send button. I've had emails and other things. I'm really good at that. I'll put something in an envelope and have a stamp on it and have it all ready to go. And that shit might sit for 4 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, I forget the very last step. So let's see, Joanne. Nope, that's okay. I'm just letting you know. Do you want me to do the speed? Because it's your turn. Do you want me to give you a speed reading on this? Because you gave me some birth digits here. Let me let me create this up, and then I could always do a real quick oh, wow. Well, that might take some time to look at that. Oh, okay. So I'd be jumping ahead in time, big time. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, let's create this chart. And so I have a December 5th, 2005. Or no, I'm sorry. Is this May 12th, 2005? We got a youngster here. May 12th, 2005, 6:03 a.m. Or is it December 5th? I assume because it's out of the States, that's May 5th. I just usually, or I'm sorry, May 12th. 6:03 a.m. Alrighty, and I got okay, and I'm getting the location down, Northern Mariana Islands. Okay. Oh, look at that. It had it for me. Nice. Oh, I like that. Have you ever seen this person's chart before? You ever seen Helena's chart before? I don't even know if I spelled that right or if I pronounced that right. Maybe that's not. Yeah. Or Helena. This is showing. Let's get this on the screen real quick. Yeah, I got to take Gigi's name off there. Gigi is not here. And if she is, she's not. I can't see her. So I don't see her in the chat. So we're moving along. And we are on Joanna. All right. And here's the chart. This is showing a Gemini on the ascendant at 6 degrees. And this is, wow, another Taurus in the 12th. Okay. This is a Cancer moon at 4 degrees. Mercury at 29 in Aries. Whoa. Okay. In the 12th house. Okay. This is definitely behind the veil energy. This is definitely energy where we are hidden, where we are not seen. This person is a 12th house sun. That's important to know about for anybody that is a 12th house sun, especially in a sensitive sign. Well, all the signs become sensitive in the 12th house, but yeah, it's more than the 5 senses, that's for sure, with the Taurus energy there. And sun in the 12th does need downtime, needs alone time, needs solitude. December 5th. Okay, let me fix that for you. December 5th. I was getting all excited, starting to read it. Okay, December 5th. December 5th, 2005. Let's change that. Let me create this as new. And let's see how that looks now. All right, this is giving me a Scorpio on the ascendant at 12 degrees. Moon in Capricorn conjunct Chiron at 29. Wow. Okay. So people, wow. Capricorn moons can be a tricky thing. Can be very tricky. It's a mixture of mom and dad energy. These people might suffer from depression time to time. Very serious energy. They're going to work very hard. That's for certain. And she's got a smart Venus, a Venus in Capricorn in the 3rd house. Institutional energy might come up, but yeah, that big degree, 29 degrees, usually a critical degree. Some say a crisis point. She's got a giant Merkaba in her chart, if this is her. Usually for these individuals, things pretty much usually kind of work out. You know, things just align, and things, when we want things to happen, they easily happen. Her Saturn, 11 degrees technology is a beautiful sextile to her south node, which is her superpower, contract energy, working for myself, possibly independent energy, boss energy in relationships. And it's in the 11th house. Technology comes up large. All right. So does this sound like her chart? I mean, I'm gonna, let me double check the email to see if we're spending more time. Otherwise, we're gonna, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, the PayPal, got you, Joanne, got you. Thank you so much. All right, so we got to jump into the transits, but if the basic chart is wrong, the transits won't be correct. So does this sound like her? That's important. Sagittarius, Sun on her second house, cusp line of money and income and values. She's the seeker, the searcher. Wow. An educator. Travel would be big for a person like this. That moon energy, the work energy, the home, very serious about what I'm building for the long term. These people feel most secure when their life is very structured and predictable. Their emotional security is usually dependent on tangible things, something I can hold in my hand. They usually want to choose the straight and narrow path, which involves the least risk, cautious energy. They have the ability to work towards the long-term benefit in most things. They will work slowly without trying to cheat, right? They work towards their ambitions, but yeah, serious energy. So at times these people can be emotionally cold and distant, okay? Again, it's the mixture of the mom and dad energy. So it can be tricky in the third house sometimes with our mind. However, these people can be very strong in communication, especially in terms of being the boss. Management energy. Inquisitive mind for sure. But there's a certain level of maturity here, which I think is a huge benefit. Usually these people can communicate and think in ways that are very structured. So usually when they're communicating, they kind of like listening to them because they're like, that makes sense. You know, when some people try to convey ideas, you can get lost. But for a person with a chart like this, normally when they're trying to convey, when they're trying to communicate and share information, it's usually clear and concise and easy to understand. So it sounds like her. That's what I need to make sure. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move. I think you said, let me double check this for you. Okay, 2 years. Got it. All right. We're going to jump ahead now. So do you know what month the graduation is? I mean, just in general. You know, like would graduation be, because, yeah, I don't. And where would the location still be? Mariana Islands? Like, where's this person going to be looking for work? Or, and I can leave it at Mariana Islands. I'm just looking for precision. You know, the way I did with Sergius gave me his location for the transits for that day. And so that's all we're doing. It doesn't have to be detailed, you know. Just like a state, if even, of whatever country you're in, or some major city or something, you know. Unless you don't want to go that deep, then that's fine. Okay, thank you. Okay. Got it. May. Okay, that helps because then that way we can be a little bit more specific here. So it'll be 2 years before she's graduated. So then we're talking probably Are we talking May of 2008? 2008. I'm sorry. Are we talking May in, yeah. I don't know why I said 2008. I don't know where the hell that came in. I meant 2028. May 2028 or May of 2029? That's my question. Okay, Frisco, Texas. Got it. Let me change that around. I know the time is going so fast. So she graduates, I'm assuming, in May of 2028. But I don't want to assume, so. Okay, great. Then we'll leave it there. Let me go back a month or so. Okay, good. So let's take a peek and see what we got here. Okay, let me see real quick. Oh, she's going to have the North Node right on her Venus. Wow. Good Lord. Of course she does. She's the one who had big Merkaba in her chart. North Node will be on her Venus. This is in career, long-term goals, networking, business. Oh, I really like this for her. It's getting her right on the track. I mean, literally, we complete a goal kind of energy, you know? Signifies that you're about to embrace something new in your life. Okay, this is wonderful. This can have to do with money, but also relationships, significant one-on-one relationships. She may meet somebody new who changes the course of her life. She may release her old ways of thinking about relationships and have a whole new idea on life. But because it's in the third house, business is probably what she's more geared towards. Business and communications, learning, teaching, however she expresses this energy. It is also possible, being conjunct her Venus, that she receives a gift of some sort, a monetary gift. It may also have to do with the way she thinks about money and her long-term finances. If you want to make sure, this can be an opportunity to be with the North Node on someone's Venus. Let me see her chart. Venus is her great benefic in her chart. So this can signify lucky in love and in business for her. So this is in May of 2028. Let me look at some other things real quick. Okay, interesting. So seriously, just the week before, 7 days prior, she was having a Mars return. She has a retrograding Mars. Her retrograding Mars in Taurus, money, finances. Mars is somebody who can be considered impulsive, but she's got it in the placement of work and values, day-to-day routines, health. Let me look at her midheaven, 28 degrees. Let me see the rest of the Earth energy, 5, 7. Okay, Pallas Athena. Yeah, she's having a Mars return. So a new cycle starting. It's a new 2-year cycle that starts for her in May. It's interesting how there's a lot going on here. This would signify new activity, new values, new work, new health routines, but new projects, new tasks. It's a Mars return. She's going to have the energy. She's going to have the energy to be very productive and to focus her energy on finishing things, which is one of the beautiful things of Mars and Taurus. Let me see what else we got going on here. Jupiter is, she's got an opposition between Mars and Jupiter. Okay, so this can be tricky because Jupiter adds to things, right? Talks about bonded energy, talks about energy, can be some hidden subconscious energy, but even plenty of opportunities. Jupiter in the opposite of Mars. It can bring opportunities for institutional energy, and it can be opportunities for work. Let me look at her Saturn real quick. 11th, oh, that's right, 11 degrees in Leo, so fire energy. Saturn's going to be in Taurus at this time. Let me see what we got working here. Okay, she's got that there. Beautiful thing is she's going to have Mercury conjunct Uranus going through her 7th house of significant partnerships. This is professional as well. Now, I'm not sure what her work is going to be specifically. I mean, she does have a nice trine to technology energy. Her Uranus is in Pisces, again, at the work degree. Possibly working from home and independently is a possibility here. And this trine, it's almost like this person can have this set up, have an opportunity. I don't know how that all works. If they have opportunities to work under somebody else's wing, but she's going to have Uranus connecting with Uranus. Yeah. So this energy is getting rid of the old. And this would be in March, the end of March, the mid part of March. It says I'm breaking out and I'm breaking free. I'm independent. This is usually a breakaway from authority, meaning I'm going to be the boss of my own life, my own self. So what I like is whether this person's ready to do it or not. I mean, a part of them is definitely ready. They're going to break free. They're going to greener pastures. This is a very rebellious stage in someone's life, okay? So whether they have money and jobs lined up, they're figuring out a way, come hell or high water, to be on their own. Do you follow what I'm saying? But, and that can be a big part of this, especially with the Mars going through the 6th house. And it's a new cycle, which would suggest, if this is a smart person, which Capricorn in the 3rd is, and the Venus there, they're only going to do that if they know that they have the means to do it. This isn't somebody who's, going to be sleeping in their car, or you know what I mean? Like, some people will do that. Some people are like, I'll do anything to be free. But this suggests somebody who is smarter than that. She's also going to have Venus trining Venus. This is all in March, by the way, of 2028. There's some strong connections happening in March. So before she graduates, or whoever this is, before they graduate, looks like there's going to be opportunities, definitely opportunities, and definite new beginnings happening here. Okay. This is a person who works hard. This is a person who's going to, their focus is incredible. They have incredible focus. She's got the Saggy in the 2nd house. And when people, these are the racehorse energy, they got the blinders up and they are zeroed in. They are zeroed in. Not to mention this is a Sagittarius sun. So I think this looks good. I like the way this looks. Cybersecurity, bam, exactly. Exactly. The number 8 comes up a lot. And when you have Mars, a soldier, at the number 8, and then technology, yeah, I would say with the Saturn at 11 degrees in Leo, for sure, big brother watching you type of thing. And then the South Node in the 11th house, contract work, South Node, my superpower, technology. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people lately, a lot of folks coming up with talking about the cybersecurity stuff. Like, I guess that's going to be all the rage, right? Security and all that shit's all around. So I hope this makes sense. And March, I think March is going to be the bigger month, which is great. She's going to have like her ducks in a row before she graduates. Make sense? I mean, I don't know if you're related to this person, but if you are, I'm thinking you kind of know this. Even Pluto will be at 8 degrees in Aquarius at this time. Seriously. And that's technology, and that's Pluto, which is Pluto and Mars energy, which would be cybersecurity energy. I mean, it can be a lot of other things too, but that's part of it as well. So I love this. And yeah, Pluto trining herself. No, there's a lot of really good things here for progress and making things happen for sure. This isn't going to be someone who's going to be sitting around watching the soaps, eating their bonbons, okay? This isn't going to happen with this person. Just saying. Yes, I would think so. I would think so. Just by looking at this chart, I'm like, yeah. Even her natal Pluto is at a technology degree. Her natal Pluto is in Sagittarius at 23. People shouldn't mess with Pluto. Pluto's the one with the power, literally. Yeah. And she's got it in technology at Sagittarius. And so that it goes on a big level, right? It's quite expansive. The power is quite expansive. So her ability for income, yeah. But institutional energy comes up at multiple places in her chart by degrees. Okay? Whether it's governments, hospitals, any institutions of society, whatever that is, it comes up in multiple places. And she has Neptune, which is institutional energy, in Aquarius, which would be technology. Okay? And she has it at a digital degree. Yeah. Which is all online work. Okay. Yeah. Mom, you got nothing to worry about. Okay? Yeah. All right. Time to move on. Thank you for bringing her chart. It was interesting to look at that. All those connections to the cyber stuff. Wow. And tech. Okay, so we're going to move along. That was just Joanna. Who is next? I'm looking at charts. I'm looking at people who have their digits in here. If you've been here before, and maybe it was only one time before, right? Just make sure you're letting me know you have my digits. I've been here before. Some people, don't want to put everything in again, and that's fine. But if it's been a while, I might not remember you. You follow? Like that happens. But people who I see quite a bit, I know I have them in my system. So, Gigi, how do I get on this list? I've emailed you my chart 48 hours ago. I've typed in this chat. Am I missing something? Gigi, I called your name. Oh, Gigi must be, maybe Gigi gave up and didn't realize you have to wait your turn. Oh, well, that's unfortunate, Gigi. I didn't even see that, but I did call her name when it was her turn and she didn't respond. Is that a miracle, Lewis? Get out of here. Oh my God. I see you, or I saw you. 422. Oh, that was just not too long ago. How the hell are you? How are you doing? Good to see you. I heard you are living your best life right now. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so I'm moving on. Let's get to a name that has digits so that I can. All right, so I think we're coming up to 3DD. That's who I'm calling you. Look on the screen. August 29th, 1985, South Carolina, 10:30. Doesn't say AM or PM. I would need that information. If you're still here, I'm calling your name. Come in at the top, it says. All right, so I just want everyone to remember we're trying to do free readings here. Okay, you follow? What does that mean? It means fast. You follow? So if I have to go fishing, that slows everything down. And I realize things do slow down when people gift the channel, but that's just part of how this works, right? They have the means, they want a little bit more time, that's fine. But my point is that try to do the best you can to make sure that we have everything present at the time, okay? so that when I call your name, I have all your info. So again, 3DD, I'm looking at this August 29th, 1985, South Carolina, 10:30. I need an AM or PM. And for some reason, it could be that the chat's delayed or you're hearing me, and it's by the time you're hearing me, it's been 5 minutes ago or something. I don't know. I gave it to you earlier. Can you tell me if it's AM or PM? And I'm probably going to ask that one last time. Thank you for the PM. That's what I've been waiting for. Very good. All right, now I can create your chart. That helps a lot. Thank you so much. All right, so let me get your chart created. And you might even be in the system. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why you didn't include it. Because I think you were here before, but let's look. I don't think we drew you up, though. I think it was... okay. And let's get this in. So August 29th. And did you have one or two words of what you want me to focus on, or do you want me to just talk about what jumps out? 1985. All right, 10:30 p.m. All right, we have South Carolina, but we don't have a city in South Carolina. Yeah. Remember, the less information you give me, the less accurate your stuff is. But if you don't have that information, okay, then I'll let the software just create whatever if you don't know. Have you seen your chart before? 3DD? All right, so I'm going to keep moving here. Here's the chart. This is what I have. I'm hoping this is you. I have no idea what it's giving me for the city. Just saying. This is showing me a Taurus on the ascendant at 29, a moon at 29 degrees in Aquarius, a Virgo sun, and okay, we're going to go with what comes out. All righty. Let me go double check real quick here. Okay, so this is a speed reading. And we're going to get up to this. Hopefully this sounds like you. If you haven't seen your chart before, this tells me that if you have a moon in Aquarius, then astrology would be your thing. Something different, something unique, space, what the hell's out there. These are the things that would emotionally satisfy us, right? There's something there where we even feel kind of kin to it, where it almost feels like home. Originality, uniqueness, inventive. And if this is accurate, this is in your 11th house. So maybe astrology is really something that you're in tune with, understanding the planets. Maybe you have a telescope. Maybe you're constantly looking up in the sky because you have other objects here as well that point to the 11 degrees. The nodes are at 11 degrees in Taurus and Scorpio. So your values are unique and different. Your loves, your desire is something that's going to be unique and different. All right. Your tastes. I'm hearing cravings, your cravings. These would be hidden cravings. If this chart's accurate, cravings that are like subconscious are going to be hidden. This is like behind closed doors. This is backstage, behind the curtain type of energy, like it's unseen. You do have this giant Merkaba in this chart, which means many times things just kind of easily occur. This energy supports that. It supports change. It supports being able to pivot. It supports strong creativity. If this is you, you've got a lot of energy in the Leo placement of your 4th house of home and family, which means basically at the bottom, at our foundation in childhood, there was some fun, there was play, authority figure energy. Maybe mom was very authoritative. Maybe dad was playing the role of mom and dad. Maybe mom was playing the role of mom and dad. Sibling energy is here, but creative energy comes up strongly. And maybe even something to the way you look and to your appearance, because your Venus, your Mercury, your Mars, they're all in Leo. Really colorful energy. It's colorful, it's magnetic, it can be loud energy, it can be really loud. And I would be cautious if you're not using the energy for physical stuff. It can come out in other ways. And because you have Mars is really kind of athletic in Leo. And I do see that this chart shows it's a square from the Saturn. So this can create slowdowns and restrictions. All right. It can also temper my desire to want to take risks, like the daredevil, evil Knievel kind of energy, people who jumping off the rooftop into the pool kind of crazy energy or whatever. That's that Leo energy. It wants to have fun with its body. It wants to have a good time, and it can take risks. But because you have Saturn angling it, who knows, maybe you broke a bone or a leg or an ankle at some point in time and learned that way with the Saturn. But normally 22 degrees says I'm usually more cautious. I'm not going to let Mars put me in some stupid situation. Okay. So with that said, your Virgo sun is usually going to be smart. Virgo sun, they have an ideal for the details. They can pick up on the details and they can connect the dots and see the big picture. They can be highly analytical, maybe even hypercritical, because they're striving for perfection. Yours, if this is all correct on the time and the location, this is in how you create, how you're being creative. So your emotions fuel your creativity. It is something where there's a higher knowledge that comes through, a high intellect with the Leo energy, and even your heart energy, though, an expression of heart energy. So if you have children, if you're thinking of having children, if you have domestic pets and they feel like your children, you may have unrealistic ideals about how they should be, how they should appear, how they should act, how they should behave, how they are domestically in the home. All right. And some of your creative things, whatever you're doing to use your creativity, there might be a strong connection to the element of earth with the Virgo here. So there might be a ton of detail even. Sometimes these are people who do, they like to have some colorful stuff. That's Leo, tons of color. But at the same time, they may stick to some of the basics. They might just be doing like graphite and stuff like that, just pencil and nothing super flashy. You do have your Neptune in Capricorn. So this talks about building something. Like I have a dream. I'm building on something. And this is talking about building for something that's deeply meaningful, but a legacy almost type of energy. The Neptune can bring understanding over the wounds and the hurts. And when we have a moon at 29 degrees, this can be really unpredictable energy with our emotions. Very unpredictable. And the thing that can bring up concern is that it's in an exact opposition to Regulus, which thinks it's the king and it's above the law. You follow? Good example, the United States, the current president, right? And shit, I think just about everybody in his administration, like it doesn't seem that any rules apply to them ever, or the wealthy, both, right? So the 29 degrees has to be cautious because your moon, your emotions and how you feel, I'm an individual, I'm the authority of my own life. That may at times cause a problem, right? When we refuse to conform, it can be great energy if we're in the lab and if we're the scientist. It can be great energy if we are working alone. And that's the kind of energy that we need, like engineers and stuff, right? But it can also prove wonderful for going through crazy times in life, because a moon in Aquarius is going to have the ability to be detached and even stoic. So in other words, these would be people where if they go through some crazy stuff that other people, that might destroy other people, Aquarius energy has that Buddha kind of thing where it knows to detach, to survive, to detach from what just occurred, so that they, don't create too much damage within their own body and hold on to the past. The moon in Aquarius loves to share. It's a humanitarian. All right. So with that humanitarian energy, maybe your creations, right, can help. Oh, I don't know, help heal wounds, because you've got Neptune at 0 degrees in the 8th house, and that's the house of healing. And Neptune can bring understanding and healing. So I like the connection for you, because it's a strong, it's more Merkaba energy, and you even have the tip of your kite. One of them is that moon, and this is the server. I'm a server of the group. I'm the humanitarian energy. So this is a beautiful placement. Friends in high places and in the angelic realm too. All right. So connect if you haven't connected, in whatever way that is for you. All right. And you'll have assistance, and maybe even get downloads of information. But whatever your creative stuff is with Taurus in the 12th, yeah. 12th house is sound, big with sound. Sensitivities in all levels, though. Can be taste, can be food. You can be creative in a ton of ways, by the way. Like I'm sure I'm not telling you something you don't know. All right, I hope that helps. Yeah, the whole chart jumping out. Okay, so we are moving on, and we did 3DD, and let me keep on going here. I've got some people who are like, yeah, I'm here. You got to make sure you have your birth digits, or I keep scrolling, okay? Birth digits connected to your name, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Yeah. The more information you have, the more accurate. And it looks like ES, is it your turn? It looks like you're up next. Are you still here, ES? Let me check. These are speed readings. Get your digits to me if you want a reading. Some people want a longer reading. That's fine. Just gift the channel. Send a gift to the channel. The payment stuff is down below. The Venmo, the Cash App. Yeah, you could always gift the channel if you want a longer reading. ES, born March 21st, 1984, Fort Collins, Colorado. I need advice about my marriage divorce. 1:10 p.m. Are you still here, ES? Oh, ES is here. Very good. All right, let me create your chart. Have you ever seen your chart? Let me save 3DD. And we're going to create a new chart here. So we do this a couple of times a week, and they're usually a surprise live. I usually kind of just show up, because sometimes, man, I can't go live when I want to for whatever reasons. Things happen. Phone calls come in, and that always leads you down a rabbit hole to something else. So and we also do this privately. The fourth Saturday of every month. The fourth Saturday of every month, we do a private lives. This Saturday is already full. So if you want in on August, I can't believe I'm saying that. Yeah, if you want in on the August one, I do have a couple spots left. Those are very small, by the way. I purposely keep it tiny. It's definitely more of an intimate atmosphere. February 1984. All right, 110. Very good. Okay. All righty, Colorado. Excellent. Okay, let's see what we can see here for you. This is showing a Scorpio moon. Okay. This is showing a Scorpio moon, a Pisces sun. You are all water, it says. Cancer rising at 9 degrees. And your sun trines your moon. I'm sorry, your sun trines your Pluto. Holy shit. Okay. Whenever I see that in a chart, I'm always like, oh my God. These are powerful people. Even your freaking Mars is in Scorpio. Oh my God. Okay. You have a retrograding Pluto. This is all about power. Big time. Big time. Intense energy. Yeah. Very intense energy. Oh, okay. Pallas Athena and Mercury are together there. Oh, this is why you're wondering about okay. Because you're just inquisitive naturally. Scorpio is the super detective of the Zodiac. Scorpio moons are really psychic. They just know things. Your North Node is in your 12th house. I have to get a feel for the chart before I can talk to you about anything else. But it also helps for me to make sure that this is your chart. Jupiter in the 6th house, lots of opportunity for professional partnerships, long-term partnerships, committed partnerships. I'm just letting you know, like that's there in your 7th house if this is you. Queen of Egypt energy is very close to that Jupiter. That might be tricky. I'm just saying. That sounds like high maintenance energy. That would be a bit tricky, right? You do have Uranus down here. Oh, your freedom is going to be extremely important to you. Individuality, independence, really important. This is going to be hard energy. Okay. It's not going to be hard for you to break free, though. That's for damn sure. This is the energy that says, I'm out. Absolutely. That's the thing with Saggy energy. However, you do have, shit. Okay. All right. So let me see. Lots of feels. Oh God. Yeah. With all that water. Yeah. And a Pisces moon at 2 degrees. Holy shit. Yeah. And a Scorpio moon. Yeah. Major sensitivities, all the feels, Pisces in the 9th house of Jupiter. And Jupiter's your great benefic, by the way. So this is important because this has everything to do with lawyers and courtrooms and judges. I'm just saying. And it's in your 7th house of partnerships. Other than what I said earlier about partnerships, I mean, that is all relevant. But so is judges. So is lawyers, right? Yeah. So this is in your 7th house. Okay. So we know this is you. All right. So okay. Oh, wait, let me check. He said I have not. Oh, you said, okay, February 21st. Oh, maybe I said it wrong. February 20. Oh, I might have I have dyslexic. Sometimes things come out wrong, but yet I have it written right and then vice versa. Yeah, this is February 21st, 1984. Let me put a save on that. At least I hope I did that right. Yeah. Yeah, February 21st, 1984. Yeah, okay. This is why for me editing is such a big deal. So do you have a timeline? Because you said I have advice about the marriage/divorce. Well, this energy here says I have no problem breaking free. Or if you do, you will find out how much, you really enjoy the freedom. But you see, if there's a timeline as far as if the divorce isn't final, do you have to go to court? Like, is that what you mean? Like an advice about the marriage divorce? Because when somebody has the Capricorn energy in the 7th house, the Saggy in the 6th, like this kind of energy, have you noticed a pattern, a cycle of long-term commitments? Have you noticed other than lots of opportunities, but maybe, struggles that seem like really, really burdensome and heavy, that are heavier than maybe other people have to go through in partnerships. Have you seen that pattern for yourself? And the other thing too is that when you have all the water that you have, all this feels, all the sensitivity, that can be tricky. So yeah, embracing the future and embracing the freedom would be the thing. But here's the thing. I'm not sure if you're telling me like, okay, husband also Scorpio. Oh God, husband also Scorpio moon. Jeez Louise. See, this is tricky because okay, so you are in the, that's what right. Well, this is kind of, yeah, because this energy, the Saturn stuff in your seventh, which is Capricorn, and it's with committed, bonded relationships. It's in the fifth house of romance. You see, the Saturn connects with that. So it says that, it's, I don't want to say that it's always going to be heavy and difficult, right? But it is energy that demands no shortcuts and that demands this very diligent pace of slow and steady wins the race. But when a person has so much independent energy and a lot of freedom here, because that's your south node. Your south node is, yeah, I love the freedom. I love the independence. But you even have your Uranus at 13. So when you have this, the breakout, break free, different, unconventional energy, it's kind of tricky to find a partner that wants that too. All right. So if you're in the process of a divorce and you have Jupiter on your side, this is wonderful. It's in the material and the tangible, which means Jupiter can connect to, you have shared values in terms of children. You do have a lot of planets here. You even have the moon in the fifth house in terms of my creations and what we've created. A lot of soul history, a lot of soul energy here. But the Pluto at the 2 trining your sun will get you through this. This is trauma and wounds in romantic relationships, probably. Maybe even with children and deep connections, soul memory, soul history like that. So you're going to have Jupiter meeting up. Right now you have Jupiter going through the house of income, money, and values. Remember what I said earlier, Jupiter is your great benefic, and it's in the seventh house of partnerships. And that's also the courtroom and the law. And it's going through your second house of cha-ching money. Now, whether there's any assets, they have to be divvied up. That's, I'm not asking for those details, but, if there's children involved, because you do have Leo, right? It's Jupiter in Leo, then likely there's going to have to be, some long-term financial things set up. And because you have the Jupiter going over there, and it's your great benefic, it can be beneficial. I'm just trying to see some other things. Yeah, because you have all that Scorpio energy of shared values, of bonded energy, of shared money, shared assets, taxes, all that crap. Let me see for the fire energy. Okay, yeah, you're going to have Jupiter connecting strongly. Wow. Okay, so by the beginning of August, you'll be probably sensing some stuff, a big release, domestic energy. So whether you've made the move or not, or maybe, because it's domestic, but it's everyday stuff. So that can include domestic and work. You follow? There's like a health report card. You're reevaluating whether it's the home life, maybe you're, who knows, going through assets, literally physical stuff. Maybe you're taking a look at things, but this talks about possibly feeling a sense of being overwhelmed with a sense of a desire for rebelliousness. Okay. So The idea is to ride with the changes. The more that you ignore this rebellious part of your nature, the more erratic the behavior becomes. So when change comes, it's time to change, is what that means. If we fight the change, it's going to happen anyway, and it's going to be way harder. You follow? That's it. This is basically saying embrace the new, ride with the future, embrace the new. Group energy and friends gets triggered here. So it's not just independence, but it's also friends energy. All right. Says you're destined to work within group energy, but in a unique way. So the Jupiter can bring opportunities for that. And this can also trigger judgments. So I don't know like where your timeline is and if this all is lining up and making sense for you, but yeah, when a person has Aquarius energy in that 6th house, and you have Aquarius, Uranus, I'm sorry, in the 6th, and then all the Aquarian energy in the 8th and the 9th, there's this very non-traditional, unique stuff, and that's what you value because your Taurus is in the 11th house of friends and in unconventional, unique. And that takes people who also have that same thing, not identically lined up in the chart, but something in their chart says, oh yeah, I value that. That would be important. So with all that said, Jupiter's your great benefic, and Jupiter's going to go through your 2nd house of income and money, and it's going to trine your South Node and your Uranus energy. So there can be surprises, new opportunities, but you have to embrace that. You have to be willing to embrace that. If you don't, then what could be a wonderful, beautiful new beginning, you may not see it that way, and you may miss opportunities then. It's an exciting, liberating time. It brings opportunities for growth and change, even a fresh perspective. Okay? It's innovative energy, which is all about what you want, actually. You really do value that. You're ready to get out of the rut and the routine. You're going to be ready. Let me put it to you like this. I'm looking at August 31st. But even mid-August, even the beginning of August, the energy has changed because once it starts aspecting these things, you're going to feel a shift. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel a strong urge to explore a new direction. You're going to embrace the change. You're going to take a leap of faith where you previously may have hesitated to take that leap of faith. Okay? And this is the time to do it, because it's connecting with the Uranian energy. And it's a beautiful connection to your North Node, which is our soul's goal, all right, which says, this is what we have to do. This is what my soul says I was born to do. This is why I came in. So learning something new, thinking a new way, communicating a new way, maybe even teaching, but sharing your perspectives. This is a path that involves learning to enjoy variety, which, meeting different kinds of people, exploring different subjects, allowing yourself to be playful, okay? It encourages a series of connections and experiences that keep your mind and spirit alive. So just be flexible and open to new and different, and I think you'll be fine. You got Jupiter's your great benefic. No, it's just accepting. You got it. I'm back here now. You got it. That's right. Not all bad at all, because the energy, when the planets move, we all of a sudden are like, we feel different. We just do. We're receptive, and you're highly sensitive in your chart. So yeah, it's because of the Pisces sun feeling overwhelmed. And the Scorpio moon can make life hard, especially if you got with another Scorpio moon. I mean, I understand totally why you did. Just based on that. But that energy, Scorpio knows things, and a lot of stuff that can be communicated clearly and in a different way instead of being so damn traumatic and intense, right? It's kind of like find your words kind of energy, where instead of someone, bursting out and just being in a rage maybe, or whatever, or acting out in a really inappropriate way or undesirable way. It's like that. The saying is with Scorpio energy, if you're going to battle, you want them on your team, right? Yeah. And what's the saying about marriage, right? It's like the War of the Roses. Like, oh, love's over. Okay, now it's time to go to battle. And it's like, oh shit, they're a freaking Scorpio moon too, So just take advantage of new and different, because it will be on the menu for you. Oh, mid-August is when the divorce should be final. Okay, there you go. Then your chart's correct. Your birth digits are good. All right. So let's see. Hey, Christy, I see you. Yes, you do love the second house. Hey, Donna Marie, how are you doing? Yep, you are welcome. All right. Is there anybody else here? Are we done? I think there might be time for one more. Let me take a peek here and let me see. I think you missed a couple of us. Well, for this comment, if your name is here with your birth digits, with all your birth information, if it wasn't like with all the birth digits, then I do scroll past those. But sometimes I can accidentally pass people up. But let me go back and see where we're at. I see your name up here a couple of times, especially around 3 o'clock, 3:45, but I don't see anything as far as birth information for you. I could have missed it. And if I did, I apologize. Let me keep scrolling. Yeah, you know what? In my chat on my end, every time your name comes up, unless you're showing up under a different name, I see someone for citrus who's got birth digits. And sometimes I call people's names and they don't respond. And so I move on. Oh, wait, Red Z Mac. Red Z Mac, I see your digits here at 318. How the hell did I miss you? And you're right, citrus is right before you even. How the hell did that happen? I got to get a damn secretary in here. Okay, Red Z, you're still here. You've been waiting this whole time. You've been waiting the whole time. You are a trooper. Let me get your chart in here. Yeah, I got to get it. I got to get maybe I need an AI assistant or some shit. How does that work for this? I have no idea. Okay, let's create this. So we're looking at, did I highlight you? I did. Good, good, good. I'm hearing some weird noises out. Oh, I forgot. I'm not the only one here. I'm like, what the hell are the cats doing out there? Sound like they're in the kitchen cooking. I wouldn't put it past Zoe. You know that movie Ratatouille? Every time Zoe enters the kitchen, I'm like, oh, here comes Catatouille. Because if I'm cooking garlic in the pan, she shows up and jumps right on the chair and it's like, what are we eating? Like she totally becomes this queen of human food. And I'm like, what the hell? Seriously? Garlic. I'm like, I did not know cats. I mean, they're not supposed to eat that shit. All right, I have November 25th, 1990. And I have 8:45 a.m. Did you have any one or two words as to, or should I just kind of go with what jumps out? Oh, what is that? Willingboro? Never heard of that. Not that that means anything. I don't get out much. All right, New Jersey. Have you seen your chart before? Whatever you see jumps out, that works. Okay, great. Have you seen your chart before? We're looking at Saggy on the ascendant. Ooh, Pisces are showing up today. Pisces moon at 3 degrees. Look at that. An exact square to your Saggy sun. Oh, that's a little pain in the ass, huh? Yeah, you have a Saggy sun, lots of fire. Double Sag with a Pisces moon. What's the common denominator? Anybody? Anybody? Jupiter is the common denominator. Self, the physical body, my appearance, my head. Interesting. The beliefs about my creativity, my children, maybe some wounds over those things, wounds over being creative, wounds in romantic partnerships even. So interesting. I don't know. Yeah. We'll put it like this. For feminine energy looking for masculine energy, the masculine energy would be Jupiter. You know, masculine energy would be the marrying kind, right? And so if there's a wound here, this can be a little tricky. But if not, this can be usually Leo energy and Jupiter energy are very optimistic energy. So having fun, feeling like a kid again, and creating. This is the go big or go home energy. But there can be some exaggerations here. And what I mean by that is not like somebody's making stuff up, but it can just be like, it can go over the top, you know? And that might happen verbally, vocally. It might be a little dramatic, a dramatic flair at times. It's performance energy, big time. Okay. Pisces moon is very sensitive. These are the sponges of the zodiac. Siblings, neighbors, coworkers, peers. Pisces energy, you just know things, you just feel things, high levels of intuition. The square to the sun can bring stress and tension between mom and dad energy, between masculine and feminine energy. And many times when that pattern is there in the chart, we end up having it as we grow, like in our own relationships, right? That mirror to how the relationship was between my mom and dad. Okay, you have a retrograding Mars and a retrograding Chiron. Okay. So the Mars energy in your 6th house, let me double check. Yeah, it's in the 6th house. What's your birth year? 1990. All right. Let me check. Okay, it's not quite out of bounds, but it's getting close. So ambition, passion, what we're passionate about, communication, learning, holy shit, information. This can be digital energy, of course, social media. As part of my work, sales, talking, writing energy. If you don't journal, or if you haven't ever done that, even if it's like writing poetry, playing around with words type of thing, that's Gemini energy. It's a communicator. It likes to exchange information back and forth. News. These people think they're the reporters, but Mars takes it to another level, right? It's going to do something with it. It's an active learner. It's a hands-on learner, right? Mars energy, the physical body. My health. It's in the house of health. So maybe you do take action. Maybe you don't just sit around. Maybe your activities and your learning are all around health. Pets can be part of this too, by the way. You have nodes at 29 degrees. All right, but let me go back to the Chiron. The Chiron is about wounds, and it's about communication and family and mom energy, home and childhood. There are wounds and vulnerabilities here. So these can be learning wounds. Sometimes because you have Pisces in the third house, and you do have some Aries there, but Pisces tends to get things mixed up. It blurs the lines of reality. And I hate even saying those words now because it doesn't make any damn sense. We don't even know what the hell we're looking at. We think that, that this is reality. And the reality is this isn't reality. We know this, right? So the point is, though, it just makes things fuzzy. How about we do that? It's clouds of confusion, delusions, illusions. We're wearing our rose-colored glasses. We're not seeing properly. There's something there with what we're learning and the information. So faith and hope and prayer and belief, but creativity, sound and music, meditation, these are all Pisces theme words. Pisces is really creative, okay? So it does better in a creative mode when you have Pisces in the third. This energy combined with Mars and a retrograde in the placement of learning, and then having Chiron in terms of a wound connected in communication and writing and learning, this would make somebody a great teacher because they have dealt with some of the struggles, right? They've dealt with some of the struggles, and they love the rapport of the information in the exchange going back and forth. The only thing with Gemini is it's really scattered. Like it's the master, it can start like 5 different projects at one time. And so this is tricky because if we don't finish them, then what good is it? It lacks focus. But you are a Sagittarius sun, and that would probably be a freaking blessing here. Because with scattered energy like that and the confusion in the third house with the Pisces, you would need focus. And thank God your sun is at 3 degrees, a communication degree. So if some of the things I said kind of rang true, but not really super strong, this Sagittarius sun at 3 definitely will help out. And so will Venus, because Venus is focused on whether it's money and desires and income, but Venus is going to be targeted and focused in on it. However, she's also in your 12th house, and that's the placement of things are a little confusing, right? But this is the placement, just like Pisces down there, this is the place of creative writing, right? So whether I'm writing lyrics or I play an instrument, Sagittarius can be just as creative too in the 12th house. It's very dreamy energy, fantasy, sci-fi. You have partnerships here too. So love and partnership. So again, not sure if this is a male or, whatever kind of partnership energy you're looking for, but if Venus is the partner that you're looking for, or if it's Jupiter, or if it doesn't even freaking matter, well, Jupiter suggests it would be somebody you're strongly bonded to energetically, like soul history. The Venus would be, it's a mixture. Holy shit. Okay. The Venus would be someone who can possibly be far away, like in another country, or who's just far from you in some way, but also has some deep soulful bonds. Because you also have Juno here, which is partnership and marriage energy, by the way. So with all that said, the number 12 in creativity is coming up quite a bit. And your Mercury's at a Jupiter degree. So this tells me that your chart and even your midheaven contract work, Libran energy up there, I would hope that you get some way to work in a creative capacity. Your Saturn is strong in Capricorn, so this is a big bonus. Saturn's at home in Cappy, which is establishing my long-term financial security. So significant one-on-one relationships, contract work, Libra energy. This can be law, this can be lawyers, this can be judges up here. Okay. So this is the big connection. You have Jupiter in a couple of places, judges in the courtroom and justice, maybe travel. That could be part of it too. But rules and regulations is a big one. And maybe even for you, maybe when you were a child, there were some restrictions because the Capricorn can be the bones of the body, can be the teeth, can be the head, can be the knees, can be the spine. There can be some of that. And you had a lot of stuff in your first house as a child. Ton of planets here in Capricorn. And these things can create slowdowns physically because it's the first house, my physical body. Okay. So maybe some people with when they have Saturn, they'll tell me they had to wear braces on their feet or on their knees or some shit. Or even braces on teeth, like that would happen. But at the age of 1, we're just learning to walk, right? Like we're very young here. But overall, yeah, I would say that using that Pisces moon in a creative way with the rest of your creative energy. And your 11th house is really tiny, but you have Pluto there in Scorpio. And so here's the thing I'm going to share. And I say this all the time to everybody, by the way, because we all have Scorpio energy somewhere in our chart. That's just the reality. With the Scorpio energy, especially with the last chart that we looked at where they were both Scorpio moons going through a divorce. Holy shit. It is energy where we energetically penetrate another person. So my energy can penetrate their energy. We're not making any physical contact. I mean, of course, that energy can do that. Whoop-de-doo, right? But we can energetically penetrate. Like it's this. I call it the super detective for a reason. It can overstep boundaries big time because it's a nice way of saying these people can get into things that aren't their business and that they had no right to get into. But they can also invade somebody's privacy energetically. You follow? And so wherever we have Scorpio in our chart, I think it's really important for each individual to recognize that about themselves and to make sure that they try to establish a high level of integrity instead of abusing that power. Because Scorpio's ruler is Pluto, and it has a lot of power. That's the amazing thing about Scorpio. It's got power on the physical realm, the emotional realm, the energetic realm. It operates in all those realms. So it has a lot of strength. And if it doesn't recognize it, if it doesn't have it under control, it would probably abuse it. It would probably just be like, well, what difference does it make? Whatever. This is fun. This is that. And not realize the damage it's doing. Because the thing people lose sight of is that we're responsible for what we do intentionally, energetically. We are responsible for it. So that's just a little piece for all of us with our Scorpio energy to keep in mind. Even though it's unseen energy, we're still accountable for it. So we just got to kind of be careful. All right, guys, it is 5:17. We usually stop at about 5 o'clock, or I usually go about 2 hours because the accuracy is really important to me. And so once I get to a certain amount of charts, I don't know why, after around the 2 hour times, I'm feeling like, okay, I should probably stop. I want to keep things spot on and accurate. And yeah, some good comments here. Yeah, I like this comment right here. Heavy Scorpio players must read The Ethical Psychic. Absolutely. I am really glad I didn't even know that existed. Yeah, that is so important. I mean, seriously, we could do a whole show just on that. Conversations about experiencing unethical psychic shit and being aware of it. I mean, seriously, that's how we're able to talk about it, right? But yeah, it's a real thing. And Daisy says my ex was a Scorpio. There's a saying, you can't keep secrets around a Scorpio. And again, I know a lot of folks with strong Scorpio energy. And this is not about, being mean to Scorpios. It's just what I said. We all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. We all have every sign in our chart, and we got to learn it and work with it. Absolutely. So if you're here and you didn't get your reading, then come on back. We'll be live again this week. This part is for sure Monday through Friday. Today's Monday, so between now and Friday. Yeah, between now and Friday, we'll probably do another one. And who knows, I might sneak another one in. I keep feeling urged to do this every day. And I'm like, really? Are we really supposed to do this every day? So we'll see what happens. But get your digits to me. Queen of Secrets and Mystery. Yeah, that's what they say about Scorpio, that they're full of secrets. I think it's very private energy. I really do. I think it's very, very deep and private energy. And that Scorpio energy feels very vulnerable to show what it is that's buried really deep. So, yeah, lots of folks use different words, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to make it all work. All right. So with that said, we will be back again sometime this week. Make sure that your alert bells are on. These are speed readings that we do here. If you ever want a longer reading, you could always send a gift to the channel, and then I spend more time on your chart. Okay? That's how it works. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, they're all down below. And we'll be back again. I'm not sure what day, but we'll be back again. Okay? And I think we're done. Everybody stay safe, stay cool, and stay sane. Bye-bye.